Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Mike. Today I'm going to cover my Capstone project experience at UChicago MScA program. And firstly, I'm going to cover how can you get onboarded with a project and how can you find your team. Also, then I'm going to touch on what are the challenges that I was facing with my team, like in terms of communication, in terms of like a project management. And then I'm going to dive into my Capstone project. Like, what's it about? What kind of question I'm solving? Like, which clients I am working with on my Capstone project. Also, some of the difficulties that I was facing when I was doing my Capstone project, and how did I solve it? And then eventually, assuming if you wanted to get that full experience in your Capstone project, instead of like treating your Capstone project as like merely a class to pass, I'm also going to talk about what are some of the best practice or advices that I can give you that I summarize over my own experience, which I think could be helpful. So first of all, I'm going to talk about like how do you form your team? How can you get onboarded with a Capstone project? Like, you can find your project or bring your own project to your Capstone class, either from like external data sets or a business or tech problem that is already existing in your life that you want to try to solve. So basically create your own like research paper and a research topic. You can also bring in a external business, like a data-driven problem from your company. Your company and will behave as a sponsor for your Capstone project. Then you can also rely on the Capstone project selections that's already existing within the MScA program. So before I was starting my Capstone, I did not have a team formed already. So before the Capstone class, the advisor would send out a survey to all of us from the class to fill out, what are your interested project from the available selections. If you have a team, the team member that you want to partner with, and and you already have a group picked project, you can inform the faculty team beforehand. But if you don't, they will just assign you to a team that based on your interested project selection. Each student can choose like top 5 project that you're interested in. I ended up with a project that ranked number 4 in my list, as the top 3 project in my list were already taken by the other students or group. So therefore, I did not really end up with a project that's on top of the list at the beginning. So I was kind of like feeling a little bit insecure about it. But as a team, we actually end up making something pretty good out of it. Even though we went through a lot of issues and problems during our Capstone, but I will talk about and cover that later in this video. There's like a list of problems that we were facing regarding to our Capstone project at the beginning. Like, I was in a team of 3. All of us are working full-time jobs. And then I was like the only one who has some like more coding, data engineering, data science, analytic development work experience, while the other 2 teammates came from like a more business finance consulting background. So at the beginning, the problem I was having with the team was that, first of all, after we formed team of 3, we did not know each other at all. Like, the other 2 teammates were very non-responsive at the beginning within our communication. So it made due to like everybody was busy at their work, at their schedule, they have like works, their jobs, they have like schools. So none of the other 2 teammates members at the beginning were willing to take the initiative to make contact with each other, with the client, and also with the Capstone mentor. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for us to finally meet face-to-face through Zooms and introduce ourselves and finally get everything kick-started. Then the other problem was that none of the team member at the beginning was like, including me, was actually having that 100% clarity on what do we get into on our Capstone project. Like, what does this project involves? The skill set, the resources, the directions to consider, and what are the general path for the potential solutions that we can already think of, right? So like, for example, until we carefully read the project description about the company that we're partnered with, we were originally thinking that we got into this image processing, video processing project, but it turned out to be this NLP project. So in terms of like a technical knowledge preparation, none of us has taken NLP. None of us has done anything NLP related data science project before. So it just gave us this like, what do we do? What can we do? Like what did we get into? Like, how am I supposed to do this? So on top of all these problems, as NLP project is like a very engineering driven and requires a lot of coding, data preparation, engineering, and a lot of planning. But my team members has never designed or implemented or engineered an actual real-world data science project from scratch. So they were not sure how to scope this project. Also perform project management on the technical side of it and the communication side of it, like step-by-step progression within this project. So they even don't know how to estimate how long it takes to kind of finish certain tasks and ask for certain help for guidances. So to kind of sum it up, like the tone as a team that I ended up with was very passive and it was a little bit indifferent at the beginning. Like none of us seems very encouraged and very excited. I was kind of excited, but like I was a little bit anxious and insecure at the same time too. So as you can see from my prospect, as a pretty active and excitement-seeking Capstone participator, I did not think my team had a very strong start, which kind of gave me that anxiety and then gave me that bad feelings about what we're gonna do. Because my goal of my Capstone experience is to have this like exciting and full experience, like working with this cool team to come up with like amazing data science solution that make our clients happy, which I was being very ambitious. I was being very like setting the bar very high. So it kind of stressed me out by the reality of having those excitements, also having those problems at the same time. But those bad feelings definitely pushed me harder to kind of take the lead on wearing many hats, such as I was kind of like forced of being the initiator, right? The leader, the data science researcher, or data science solution pipeline designer, project scrum master, like text assigner, data engineer, or even the point of contact with the client or with the with each other and also with the mentor that we have. So like I legitimately was doing mostly like 80 to 90% of the work in the first Capstone quarter. So on top of me starting a new job at that time on a big consulting firm as data scientist, with the other class I was taking, I was like really stressed out and I got this like a major burnout really quick. So next I'm gonna kind of dive into like, what are the project that I was doing. Also, I kind of touch on some of the problem that's already happening before we start the project. What are some of the challenges that we are facing during this project and after we dive into this project? How do we solve this problem basically? So first of all, the Capstone project was not a very well scoped problem. It is a very broad problem to solve, but for a very specific business purposes. So our client was a education tech startup from Singapore. They have an app that teaches kids from like 8 to 12 to learn about science by incorporating very comprehensive but very fun way of learning. So the problem that we got assigned is to develop a automated solution to curate the scientific topic videos that got downloaded or scraped online. So curating those videos means our solution needs to help educators to select maybe the top 3 to 5 videos from a specific science topic or top content within the video. So those curators don't have to check out like tons of like a video from online on specific topic themselves, like by watching the whole thing and evaluating the whole thing. Those videos or video clips will act as like a learning material within the app later. So the kids user can automatically search for this great video content from the app that's already well curated for them to watch when they want to learn a certain scientific topics. So to approach this problem as like a team, we decided to kind of implement techniques such as like a video platform API, speech recognition, like a text correction, tokenization, sentence segmentation, natural language processing related like machine learning models to come up with a data engineer and data modeling solution to eventually measure and rank video speech content based on how relevant those video contents are towards a specific scientific topic and how appropriate those videos are for kids from like 8 to 12 to watch. In terms of like their effect, in terms of their language, their visual, that sort of thing.